Welcome, folks, wherever you are in the world. A propitious day, 02/02/2020. 2nd of February 2020, Heat 3 and 4, Australian 18-footer Championship. You've just seen a little highlights package from a couple of weeks ago. We had a day off for Australia Day, which happened to fall on a Sunday, which makes the harbour a bit too congested for safe racing, shall we call it. Fabulous day it was indeed. Today on the Camera Cat, standard operating procedures resume. Joan Ferry in the left-hand seat. Piers Hasgard driving the Ronin. Michael Chittenden directing traffic. Jono Whitty, AeroMedia, running the technical operation. And special guest today, Andrew Noddy Hay, erstwhile sheet hand from the mighty Yandu, guest drone catcher. Welcome, Nod. How's that, Jimmy?
Very good, Bucko. It's good to have the old Nod on board. It's often out here chasing him around, so he was saying he just wanted to come down, have a few quiet beverages on the ferry and watch some 18 racing. Well, now he gets to come up close and without the beverages. He can have the beverages after.
That's correct. And he's only 12-footers these days. I keep telling him he's getting a bit long in the tooth, but 12-footers en route to the Inner Dominion in New Zealand, so no, all in the containers and on the ship, I think. Here we go. We just might talk about the weather for a sec, James. It's looking a bit odd, and it's an incredible contrast to yesterday. Yesterday in Sydney had temperatures above 40 degrees on the land itself. Water temperature at about 24, 25 inside the harbour. But overnight, a little trough pressed through, and a cold front behind it, which wasn't expected to get here, but now, suddenly after about noon today, we're at 3 o'clock daylight saving time here, or just before 3 here now, got some signs of...
Oh, wow, just behind us, Bucko. Yeah, the crunch.
Yeah, breaking carbon. I hate the noise. Looks
the,
like a broken...
Nake's blue. We'll just get the camera to spin around. There she is. Just drop the rig.
Broken forestay or something.
Wow, hope everyone looks okay. Get Jono and the drone right over the top, or close to over the top of them, and have a look. But it's a nice little crunchy crunch noise.
Yeah.
So, yeah, well, there we go. We can put a line through Nake's blue and a vet for the day.
Yeah, unfortunately.
We're not fixing that.
John Warren and Holder Scott Mackey, they've been contending.
They've been doing really well. I watched them on Australia Day. They were right in the mix.
They were right in it, exactly. Exactly. So, folks, just a little recap also. The first two races were won by the Finport Finance team. In that case, Keegan York, Matty Stenner and Gus Williams. But
Gus wasn't there.
Oh, wasn't he? Sorry.
It wasn't Gus. I'm trying to think who it was.
It was Trent.
Trent.
Trent Barnabas. Sorry, Trent. Sorry, everybody. And today in the bow on that boat, Greg Dixon, who's a pretty normal backup replacement type guy around the park.
Very handy replacement, isn't he, Bucko?
Yep. And Matty Stennett coming from the McConaughey 38 race, which racing today out of Middle Harbour. So there's a bit of tension, but everybody expected to be on the line. Two races, windward leeward course configuration, course axis 140, wind probably 10 to 14 would capture most of it, James, yep.
Yeah, absolutely, Bucko. Like, just watching Tech 2 go uphill before, so just starting to backwind, so that's a good sign of about 14 knots.
Yeah, nice mid to slightly upper range, big sail, everybody with big rig in. 3 laps, so tough on the cruise, 0.8 of a mile beat. Where we are, we're just towards the channel from Nielsen Park, windward mark laid towards the Rose Bay Golf Course, which does provide a nice little funnel, and we get quite stable but oscillating wind that flows in this sort of 140 compass wind across the flat part of the land. Nice sandhill golf course that sort of gets good flow from the breeze out on the ocean. But a bit of sea fog.
Looks very ominous, doesn't it, Bucko?
Yeah, the water's hot and the air's cool, so...
Yeah, looking up the harbour, we're looking towards Manly, you can't even see Manly, so...
Yeah, visibility certainly not 4 miles, and we'd expect that the breeze won't do much through the course of the day. The next cold front itself not expected to get to Sydney, but quite a funny situation where on the southern half of the New South Wales coast, persistent flow from this direction 140 up at 90 miles to the north. It's quite stable northeasterly flow, not expected to change. So we're probably a bit fortunate that what looked like Sydney being stuck in the convergence zone between those two conflicting winds, the sou'easters won the fight.
Hasn't cooled it down that much, Bucko.
No, it is though. It's significantly cooler than it was.
Oh, the air is a little bit cooler. It's still quite humid
ago.
where we're rigging up the boat earlier.
Yeah. So in the fleet today, not starting today, Winnie Group. As mentioned, Finport Finance won the first 2 heats. Some substitutions in various boats today. Smeg, Mick Lane, Ricky Bridge, Pete Harris in the bow.
It's standard operation all the way through to the JJs, I've been told, Bucko.
There you go. There's some good park gossip. Sorry, data. We'll call it data, not gossip.
Data, there you go. Data analyst. I'll put that on my resume now.
Yep. Data provider.
There you go.
Shaw and partners, James Doran, Harry Bethwaite, Tim Westwood in the bow. Harry on the main sheet again. Appliance online at full strength. Brett Van Munster, Phil Marshall, Kurt for tourists. Oak, Four Pines, Double Bay, full strength, Aaron Aero, Courtney Marr and Charlie Gundy. Vintech with Matty Wark in the middle, Kurt and David Mitchell, Matty Wark. Dalzotto hoping to do better than last time we saw them. Jack Sprague, Tim Narborough and Josh Feldman. As mentioned, Finport, Keegan, Matty Stenner and Greg Dixon. A little hello to Keegan's dad, Glenn.
The Mighty Foot.
AKA the Foot. 16-footer sailor of considerable prominence, and
one of the old Killo's old good buddies.
That's right, from the Botany Bay School.
A pound of flesh.
So we've just unfortunately seen Noakes Blue drop their rig, so untidy, but they'll be back in a week with a bit of repairs done. On the Yandu, John Winning, Craig Doran and Mike Kennedy. Armourine Pitwater, Simon Nern steering, stepping in. Tyler Page, a young American boy in the middle, and Cam Gundy in the bow. The Rag and Famish, and they were pretty good last time we came around. Bryce Edwards, Rory Cox and Jacob Broom.
Brycey just won the MG14s, Bucko. I think it was the Nationals.
Oh, okay, good-o. Signals. Where was that held, James?
I'm not quite sure. It was on Facebook. That's how I've seen it.
Oh, if it didn't...
So it was held on Bookface. There you go.
If it wasn't on Bookface, it didn't happen.
Maybe Illawarra. There you go.
Shits is a pony. It could have been at Illawarra. All good. Sorry, Burgundy Point Marina, Tommy Anderson, Elliot Scully and Tom Arkins, and they have been steadily improving. The Kitchen Maker, Caesar Stone, Jordan Elliott, Lachlan Doyle, Tom Quigley, and they've been having a disappointing season to date, and I'm sure there's been work going on, but they seem to be going slower rather than quicker, so I'm not sure what the issues are there.
New rudder gudgeon went on the back of that boat last week after the Australia Day, mate. They ripped the rudder off the back.
Okay. Noak sailing, Sean Langman, Ed Powys and Nathan Edwards at full strength. Ilvey, Pedro Vizzoni, Matt Doyle and Jeremy Watts. The Bird and Bear in good shape, 4 minutes. Tommy Clout, Nick Daly and John Walton, full strength. On Tech 2, Jack McCartney, Wendy Harmer, a.k.a. Phil Harmer, real name, and Trent Barnabas. Mighty combination. So, Jimmy, who are you thinking?
Well, can't really. It's hard, but you got to sort of. I'm going with Tech 2. I think Finport may get there, but you know both of them have got really formidable crews, and I'll go Tech 2.
And who's the third on the podium then?
Third guy on the podium.
Difficult question, I know, with no notice.
All right, let's go Noak sailing.
Okay, brave, brother, brave.
Brave, but fair.
You've
They won the Australia Day race, and he was sailing very well. He wasn't far behind Tech 2. I was just out swanning around and might have seen them sailing, and they were doing all right.
Okay. So that means you think that the Oak Four Pines is out of the podium?
Unfortunately, yes, but I do like them, but I do like the Noaks a little bit more than them at the moment. Bucko, so I'll leave them for you. How's that for a deal?
All right, that'll do, son. So... Just
the other boat we've got is the Queenslanders. They're now officially entered.
Yeah, no, I did mean to mention the young Queenslanders, and they're just coming past.
Just about to come into screen. There they are. They've got DeLonghi on their mainsail, but they are known as Queenslander at the moment.
That's right. Alex Watson, Ben Roxburgh, and Cooper Richmond, and the bowman. Ben Roxburgh would be the lightest weight bowman ever seen. But they're having a crack.
Giving you a run for your money as the lightest sheet-hand ever seen, Bucko.
No, he made me look... No, the sheet-hand weighs 85, but the bowman... the bowman tips the scales at a healthy 62, I'm told.
Straight from Rose Hill to here. Good on him.
That's right. Billy Slater sized. Anyway, good on him for having a go, and they're enjoying... Sydney Harbour, and I did have a little chat with them earlier today, and said we'd try and get some pictures of their rig because it looked a bit fat for their body. You know, their total crew weight wouldn't be...
Very flat is what they're requiring.
Yeah. Inside 2 minutes.
1:35.
Nice long start line, James. Same old problem. Can't get out of the left edge. If you get bashed into the rock, you can get stuck in there.
Yeah, it's a fine line, isn't it, Bucko? Getting in there like it's you're sort of a little bit more pin advanced, but yeah, you run out of runway real quickly. Keegan might be going for a Port Antec. He's still waiting on Matty Stender to arrive from Middle Harbour, or is he?
He's here. He's in the boat.
He's in the boat?
Yep.
Good job.
Yep.
Probably use those big flippers of his to swim over, mate.
Hydroplaned. Inside 1 minute. Fleet pretty much all racked up on starboard. People wary of the trap that we just discussed. It looks like the Four Pines might, and the Shoreline partners are going to share the pin with Smeg and Birkenhead perhaps. Finport pretty early. Tide not strong, but just a bit of ebb, not a big pile, not probably much effect for today. Tech 2 looking at the windward end, coming in a bit hot. What's the clock saying, James?
Mickey Mouse is saying 20 seconds, Bucko.
M-I-C-K-E-Y, M-O-U-S. So, a bit of discussion in the fleet, always healthy. Shaw and partners are lured in. Birkenhead Point letting it rip in the middle. And
3, 2, 1. Clear start, I'd say.
Yep. Tech 2 out of the windward end with Finport blasting. Beautiful as well. Kitchen Maker good also. Bird and Bear also good. The 4 Pines in row F, so they've got a bit of work to do. Middle of the line, late, not good.
Del Zotto just tacked, not a great tack. One of the blokes was still hooked up on the other trap line. And Yandu just tacking. Woody winning the Galloping Ghost. Bucko beating you. You had a bit of a call off yesterday and handed it to him on a plate in the vintage 18s.
No comment as the official comment.
There you go, a few of the guys now starting to bail out, getting into a bit of a funny little breeze, or a lot less breeze line down this shore than we normally see, Bucko.
Well, a little bit of, sea fog or whatever it is, little low cloud in effect, really. But Tech 2, Finport are the top 2 boats, I think. Birkenhead Point also in the money. And a little white boat coming down the middle of the course out to our right. Uprange here on the left edge, so a little squall. Birkenhead Point, not the best tack. Face of the squall is probably 14 knots. Tech 2 cleanly in front here. And the commercial vessel in the middle of the course has got no rights to do what it just did.
Giving a good hoot, and Tech 2 ducking the Kitchen Maker, and we'll have to duck the Bird and Bear. There you go.
So that's a big duck, and a little bit unexpected, but Kitchen Maker out of the very much the windward end, sailed high and slow. So there's the crosswind position line. So that means that Finport's actually 4th probably at the present time. The Bird and Bear, good showing. Went through that tack without easing the jib at all, which is usually a recipe for
disaster
issues, but they made it. They made it good. Wow.
A few boats tacking back off to get into that left shore, Bucko.
Wow, pretty confined course. Too many tacks is not a good recipe here. Travelling there with Smeg. Finport has stepped through this group and is now 3rd, I think.
The Royal Oak double bay over.
Yeah, and he's done okay. Bailed out of a bad start.
Yeah.
Gone hard right and come out of it quite nicely. So the face of that little cloud, the breeze top range now, full inversion of the mainsails for some of the boats. Finport looking pretty tidy, Tech 2 looking pretty tidy. The Bird and Bear possibly in 3rd, not quite so tidy. There goes Finport.
Bit of a tack in a bit of a hole there, Bucko, for them.
Yeah, they're happy not to tack in the uprange bit. But the breeze gone back to the left now, the puff's faded, so the left hand is going back everything they appeared to have lost. Oh, Tech 2 flapping. Wow. Jolly gee whiz. Okay, so Bird and Bear leads, Kitchen Maker 2nd, Tech 2 3rd, Smeg and Finport.
The Kitchen Maker get up, they're going to, everyone be snapping rudder gudgeons off their boat, Bucko.
Who knows? Perfect realignment. God knows.
There you go.
God knows. Good to see the Bird and Bear getting off the line and having a crack. I did have a discussion with Johnny Walton earlier, and he did say they were ready to race. So that's probably the first time they've really been ready to race since they put the boat in the water. So.
Yeah, well, I was seeing Tommy during the week, Tommy Clout, and he was saying just They just keep breaking things for no reason. Like, it's a brand new boat. He just doesn't understand why everything's breaking.
Yeah.
Copy.
So breeze now softening.
Okay, I found the top mark, Bucko. There we go.
So on the camera cat, we're approaching the Port Tack low line. The group of boats here, Tech 2, Four Pines, Noakes, below the ley line. Bird and Bear coming from the starboard side, just in screen there now.
Smeg having to duck him. Tech 2, yeah, they're ducking as well. Bird and Bear.
So, podium in sight. They got to get over to the right though, Jimmy. They've got no rights on that whole bunch now.
I know, that's going to be the interesting part, and I'm sure Nick Daly's going to be quiet about it. What do you reckon?
Yeah. And they didn't have a good tack. Jib cleaned it on too hard and stuck on the rig, so that's costly. And these guys here tacking, Tech 2 tacking on a pretty skinny ley line. Nice ley line. Oh, who's in the tide? The kitchen maker.
The kitchen maker. Put the curse on him, Bucko, we did.
We did it so efficiently, didn't we?
Sorry, Quigs.
Tech 2 leads, how about that?
And
Cream
not
rice.
another great tack on the Bird and Bear. Dropping the main through every tack. So Tech 2 leading, Smeg second, Shore and Partners third, Bird and Bear fourth, Royal Oak, Four Pines.
Wow, it's a yacht race.
Appliances online, first one opting for the jibe set, Bucko.
Yeah, not much choice, too much traffic. Nothing you could do there, was there really?
No. So we'll get a wiggle on. We've got the majority of them around.
Well, the Burgerhead points had a fall from Grace somewhere.
Yeah, they had a bad tack sort of off Nelson Park just before, mate.
Yeah,
so I don't know how much was involved in that. The Rag's having, oh, look at this collision over here. Off screen with appliances on line and marine pit water. Appliances appears to be okay. Sorry viewers, I know it's not on screen, but something of note. I'm trying to get a camera around it. There it roughly is, Piers. We'll come back around to the fleet and chase them down. It's a nice one.
Just a drag race down the left edge of the track here.
Absolutely.
Good
We should get amongst it.
Good pressure.
And the fleet's still very compressed all together here, Bucko.
And nobody's escaped, truly.
Bird and Bear jibing off. Smeg and Tech 2 have jibed. Hope someone gives us an out here. We should get an out. We'll be all right. There's our out. All the usual suspects up here though, Bucko, in the lead group. Smeg rolling over Tech 2. Take the lead there.
Jimmy, go down the bottom, mate.
Shore and Partners just on the left of screen there. Looks like they're a little bit hot coming into the bottom marks, Bucko.
Coming in hot, Jimmy. Hot, hot, hot.
Yep. They should be all right now. They should get there.
Breeze got back to the right a little bit. It's probably tricked him a bit. Shaw and Partner's sitting in a hot angle. And all these guys having to do the very awkward drop and jive. And Jack McCartney, as usual, the most accurate with the lay line. And I did have a chat with Jack. I said, I don't know how you're doing it, but you're doing it pretty good.
We're only going around one mark.
Yep. Oh, and Tech 2.
Tech 2, not how we wanted it.
After I talked him up.
Stop talking people up, Bucko. You know the rule.
But
do it after the race.
Plenty of wind again here. There's another little squall nearly raining. It's raining down to about 200 metres. Finport came out of that worse, but there's going to be some casualties here. The Bird and Bear stationary with a chute still at the masthead. That wasn't in the book I read, Jimmy, about how to get around. No. Still chute at the masthead, not good.
Harriet locks on, Bucko.
Finport gets tidied up, but counting from the back, not the front. So I don't know what happened there.
Still very close. It's lead 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 are all still in the mix.
We do have to remember it's a 3-lapper and it's a very compressed track, so a lot can happen.
That sea fog, Bucko, is just closing in ever so tightly again. Just a bit more of it coming around. Birkenhead Point Marina around the mark.
Yeah. And Tommy, nice and patient, didn't hustle there at all, but not a bad rounding, but unfortunately also counting from the back of the fleet.
Seem to have lost a few skiffs down that run. I can see Ilvy in the tide off Nelson Park, like Milk Beach there. And get back up into the show.
Why don't we go to these guys?
There's Tech 2 just on the other side of Spectator Bay. Just around to our left, we're just coming up behind Shaw and Partners.
So probably the strongest puff of the day, right where Shaw and Partners is. Full mainsail inversion. Up above 14 knots now. But they're travelling pretty nicely, Jones. Looks good, doesn't it?
Yeah, plenty of puff there, isn't there?
Jimmy.
Then we've got, there's Ilvy in the water on screen. Pedro having a cooling off. Where was your cooling off? Was that there?
No comment, brother. So Shaw and Partners setting up the tack on the face of a beauty.
Big puff there for him, isn't there? I think Smeg Mika might be our leader on course at the moment.
Well, Smeg in high left on the left side. Just watch out for appliances, Jones.
I've got him, mate.
Never in doubt, was it? So, sorry, viewers. Just, threading the camera catch through the fleet. So the Four Pines clearly third, James. And you're quite right, the Smeg leads.
Petey Harris, a new difference.
What wins yacht races, James? Money or riding moment?
Riding moment, mate.
Bit of each, really.
Yeah.
So Smeg
Just see Ricky working that main.
pretty far up range, not much ability to ease the main sheet though.
Yeah, he's just trying to hold on to that lead share, Bucko. Like just
That's all. But
That's all you can do.
have a look at the jib depth at the 1/3 height up. It's solid. That's being polite.
You're getting soft in your old age, Bucko.
Have a look, Jimmy. Come on. Hey? Wow. Jib leads parallel with the centre line at 1/3 height. Is at the limit. Anyway, all good. Uprange, big sail. So these guys lead by probably 20 seconds, I think, because it looked like the breeze just tripped left on the front of that squall. And if you're on the right edge, you got more wind earlier, but it was a header.
Yeah, well, you got Royal Oak 4 points just behind the camera cat there on screen. They're lifting up nicely just behind us. Plenty of bang off, plenty of twist.
Yeah.
And then you've got the Shore Partners coming in from the right.
Yeah.
They're close cross with them, but we'll stay with Smeg to the top, and then we can, I guess, send the drone down with Smeg, and we'll wait here for a few of the other boys. What do you reckon, Bucko?
No, that sounds good. But that illustrates how short the course is. The beat took about 5 minutes.
Yeah, I think, we're only 16 minutes into race time, Bucko, so...
Yeah. But that was shorter. There was more wind, and it wasn't quite aligned with the course axis, so it was a shorter beat. And Smeg's, effectively gained about 30 seconds in a 5-minute beat. A bit of a tentative bear away, but
I think they can afford to, Bucko. They've got enough lead.
Yeah, enjoying the extra RM and the skill of Pete Harris. Interesting their set technique though. 2 guys in the boat, no riding moment being used at all, and then bango. Slightly different to, in particular, Finport.
Well, Smeg obviously leads, Bucko. The second around is going to be Shore and Partners.
Yep.
Third around, Royal Oak, 4 Pines. Fourth, Tech 2. And fifth, Appliances Online.
And 6th, Finport. That's the top 6. And 7th, Noakes. So, and 8th, Bird and Bear. And that's it.
So just a difference, a couple of bad corners, mate. Like Bird and Bear led around the first time.
Yep.
Bit of a bad drop.
I couldn't get the shoot off. Finport's pretty lazy overlay into the windward mark. Didn't need
Very
to do
gentlemanly
that.
overlay. We'll head off down with them. What do you reckon, Bucko?
Yeah, I think so. Chase the peloton.
The rest of the guys have Bird and Bear's just about to round the mark, and then it's a little bit of a gap back to the Rag, Birkenhead Point, and Dalzotto and Vintech.
Yeah, the Rags had a bit of a bad one. What's going on there?
Smeg comfortably leading. Getting the drone down over them. There's a gap between first and second on screen. There's Smeg leading. Just on the Finport there. Matty Centre sailed all weekend.
And Finport looked like they made a good gain on the face of the pup, a header. And
Big header.
They've caught the fleet here. So they will have learned about the approach to the bottom mark from the problem they had the first time down, I hope. And we'll see better execution here at the bottom. And these guys are all probably a bit too hot, I think.
Yeah, Smeg looks a little overcooked there on our picture-on-picture we just had there. They are on full screen.
Correct.
They look like they're probably right on the money. Shore and Partners going to have a bit of a handful with a spectator boat just in front of the camera cap, but stay with, there they are. Just scraping across the back, grab a prawn skewer.
Oh, we're like into a little lull.
Yeah, it's just a big hole just formed above them, Bucko.
Big velocity header. They handle it pretty well though. Again, the luff of their chute still looks a bit too long. Not so easy to trim.
Smeg just dropping their spinnaker at the mark on screen. And rounding just nicely. The kitchen maker there in the background, they're just been lapped, Bucko. So after their little swim.
So
Got the boys back on screen here on the Royal Oak 4 Pines. Got the arms above their head, trying to get every ounce of weight out. Aaron's just got to stretch those long legs of his, mate. That's all he's got to do.
Oh, they're doing it well.
They'll get there comfy. There's Shore and Partners in the background, second place, rounding the mark. Royal Oak Hotel 4 Pines going for the drop.
Time for the drop. Big pressure here. Charlie Gunny having a good fight with it.
Having a good wrestle, isn't he?
Not a bad rounding. Jib just needs to come on. Sheedan should get that, yep.
And then just off screen, just back to the left of screen there, we get our camera around. You got a tight one here between Tech 2, Finport, and right in the mix is Appliances Online. Keegan giving Greg a few words of encouragement to get the Spinnaker in.
No, he was talking to Jack McCartney. Talking to him about who had rights and reinforcing the view that he's got room, but he can't round the mark widely. So Finport, the gainer on that run, up into the back of the podium at least. Tech 2 and them together.
Noakes just coming into that bottom mark now.
Appliances the loser, and Noakes just maintaining position really. But the breeze gone far enough back to the right that people are having trouble with the ley line.
Big time, aren't they, Bucko?
Just looking up the track now. A little lull and another line of pressure.
Bird and Bear just there on screen, Bucko. A lot better rounding, but a little bit too late.
Yep. But still, they're not far behind, and they've been encouraged by that. And they'll have a very clear view about what they need to improve on. And they look pretty good through the water, don't they? Maybe the mates look a little bit too flat, but...
Vintech coming in for what could possibly be a slow jibe, drop, swim, but hopefully they don't try and spin the wheel up too quickly.
No, he's calm and patient there.
Very calm and patient. Nice job there on the Vintech.
Time for the dial up though.
Yep, now would be a good time. And saying that, we'll dial up and head on up. What do you reckon, Bucko?
I think so.
And Woody bringing up the rear just off screen to the he was telling me this morning how sore he was after yesterday, so would have been plenty on.
It was pretty episodic. Jimmy's talking about the historic 18 race, and we had I was sailing a boat called Yendies with Harold Cudmore and John Buckley amongst others. Woody with his usual crew on the mistake, and sort of fresh to frightening.
Well, they didn't make a mistake, and you did. There you go.
Northeast and northwesterly, sort of 12 to 22 knots. Interesting times.
Tech 2 just having to duck Finport there. Not a ragging of their mainsail on Tech 2 compared to some of the other guys, Bucko. What's the cause of that?
Yeah, the jib's probably just a bit too deep. Like, fair bit of difference in the jibs here, and Finport's easily better than the jib on Tech 2. Straighter back, more controllable twist, much more stable mainsail. Definitely preferred, and I think Finport's gone to the correct side of the track here. He's got a good cover on appliances, and Jack and the Tech 2 boys will, I think, hurt having tacked off early and gone to the right. And Finport into a good line of pressure with high left. Not a very good tack, but not the worst one either.
And Smeg has just extended their lead, so they're off in the distance, and we'll might go catch up with them. What do you reckon, Bucko?
Yeah,
wait here.
Why don't we go sort of 400 yards downwind of the mark and
Have them come at us.
let them come at us. I think.
There's a fin port. Doing a bit of crew adjustment.
And more pressure up the track here. Breeze back to the right. Interesting.
Breeze is swinging around quite a fair bit, isn't it, Bucko?
Yeah, we've got plus or minus at least 10 to 15.
But normally when it comes out of Rose Bay over the golf course, pretty true, you know, like you get it swing a little bit and that stays there.
Yeah.
But it's swinging back and forth today, quite considerable.
Well, it is a bit, the whole setup's a bit unusual, James. You know, air temperature's down now. Water temperature offshore is pretty hot, and that's why it's foggy. Cold air over hot sea.
There's appliances online and Noakes on screen with the Harbour Bridge. You can just make out in the back of their picture. Just coming up to Shark Island, so Smeg just about to get to the top mark. We're just going to pan the camera around.
Appliances and Noakes is the battle for 6 sort of thing, more or less. Tech 2 is going to cross Finport here, not on screen, but...
There's Smeg having their set. Yeah. Just remember that boat there in the back of screen, the kitchen maker, they've been lapped, so...
A lap behind.
They're a lap behind, just for the viewers at home.
Smeg on the face of an absolute boomer.
Sorry, Darren, if you're tuning in wherever you are around the world and you just see that and getting excited. Sorry to burst your bubble, brother. And the Smeg...
So Smeg tidy, nearly 1 minute lead. Shaw and Partners second, 4 Pines third, close. Tech 2 will be fourth at the mark and Finport fifth. Not that one. Oh, good pressure coming down.
So second around we got Shaw and Partners. The third, Royal Oak Hotel 4 Pines. All set okay. Next around off screen will be Tech 2.
Yeah, Shaw and Partners on screen, just roaring down the face of that puff. But they're just trying to fend off and hang on to second. 4 Pines, a little bit of deficit there, had some problem in the hoist. Finport and Tech 2 bearing away in the face of the squall, a little squall.
We should we really get after Smeg here and like get them finishing?
Let's go with the Oak.
Well, we'll stay on the Oak. We're probably not going to catch the Smeglers. There's the Smeg in the background behind Shaw and Partners. I clip the VMG button. What do you reckon, Bucko? There's the Royal Oak currently in third. Going to be a close finish for them and Shaw and Partners. Just how they pick the lay line, Bucko.
Well, and good pressure coming down the middle of the track as well. Nice long finishing line, so plenty of choice.
Just getting the camera to come around, and there's the Smeg right in the middle of the ferry. So there's the Smeg crossing the finish line to take heat 3, Bucko.
Job done.
And just got the...
and it's pretty close for fourth.
The second or fourth?
No. I think second and third are decided. I think Shaw and Partners is comfortably second. Royal Oak comfortably third. Things are not so comfortable though for fourth between Finport and Appliances.
Shaw and Partners definitely get second there.
And that's their best result for quite some time.
Yeah. Stop talking to Doro and he's now sailing all right. There's the Royal Oak on screen coming in for third. And it appears to keep on circling around and pick up the Tech 2 Noakes, Clients Online and Finport. And I think Finport's going to be the loser out of this lot, Bucko.
Yeah, they somehow mucked it up, didn't they? They got dirty air off Noakes, I think. Tech 2 giving them a bit of a serve. So Tech 2 is going to get fourth. Noakes has come through on the face of some wind. So fourth to Tech 2. Appliances will get fifth. Good result for them. Noakes will get sixth. Good result for them. Finport will get seventh. Not a good result for them.
No, not a good result, and haven't looked up since they jibed. Top of their main is still inverted. You remember a couple of weeks ago you seen Matty standing through every jibe, give it the big pump, Bucko.
Yeah, wow.
And I think shoulders are down a little bit. He's done, as I said, 2 days of hard sailing on the Macca 38. And yes, as
Yeah, I don't think come JJ Giltman's he's going to have any overlap though, you know. So, all right. Well, as we speak though, Finport still leads, and don't forget they're not quite at full strength today without Gussie Williams.
the Rag and Famish just finishing there. The Bear Close one still on track here between Birkenhead Point and the Bird and Bear. I think the Bird and Bear will get there pretty comfy.
And the best of mates having a race. Oh, well, and 2 new crews. I mean, it's a bit instructive. And Bird and Bear was, you know, towards the podium early, but couldn't get...
Well, they led around that first mark, Bucko.
Yeah, I said towards the podium, but they couldn't get the job done going to the bottom mark, and ended up behind the peloton with a spinnaker stuck up the mast.
A little bit of discussion, you think?
Some polite advice being provided, yes, indeed.
I know that speaking to Tommy, they had a problem with their D1 fitting in the angle of it, and it keeps breaking.
They've had that glue that was these masts use lower stays which go to the gooseneck, and there's a little carbon fibre fitting they attach to, and it should be absolutely straightforward in the modern age how that works, but
apparently not.
The laminate was a bit dry, and you know, for the lack of 3 grams more epoxy, there she blows, and any competent boat builder you'd think wouldn't have any trouble with it, but they did, and it had to be fixed twice, so...
If in doubt, put more on.
Oh, just a bit of roving, you know, something, mate. Not that hard.
So there's Yandu on screen.
So,
last boat to be finishing.
Yeah, a few casualties, as we've noticed. Noakes blew home early, broken mast. Ilvy, who's that down there, James?
It's Ilvy's right here. They've pulled out, so.
Yeah, Armourine Pip Order, I noticed going home earlier.
It's got the Finport just come past for a little bit of a yarn. Armourine Pitwater, Bucko. I thought I seen Nerney heading back to the club at some stage during that race.
That's correct.
So another casualty for the followers of the Armourine Pitwater.
Yep.
That looks like the Royal Oak with the white bottom.
It does, doesn't it? In the tide. Anyway, Yandu yet to finish, and I don't see what happened to the kitchen maker. Didn't continue on, did they?
No, the kitchen makers hung around. I'm guessing they've worked out time wasn't going to be on their side to go to a whole nother lap, Bucko.
That's right. So Yandu will be the last boat finished. The fleet reduced then to perhaps 11 boats for the next race.
And the Queenslanders, mate, have you seen them?
And the Queenslanders, they were
They're
last
mighty little
seen,
Queensland friends.
last seen at Nielsen Park.
Nice spot to stop.
A bit of trouble.
Going for a swim. There's Woody finishing. So that race took a whole 35 minutes for the last one to finish there, Bucko.
Yeah, so of course a little bit short possibly. But it was a proper race and the winner won by probably about 1 minute in the end.
Great race. Great race to watch.
So super staff hard on a cruise. And precision at some kind of premium, and so the two most accurately sailed boats were first and second.
And we're still looking for our mate Troy. There you go. Troy's supposed to be here. He's not there.
Apologies from Troy today.
Yeah, no, he was off at the Macca 38s as well. He didn't get back, so that's okay. We'll carry on without him. Oh, leave that one be.
Yeah. How do you spell loyalty, Chits?
M-O-N-E-Y.
Yeah.
He's inbound. We
All
might
right,
have
so
Troy for the second race. This is how he gets home. He just boat hops across the harbour.
that's right. It's the best way to go. Troy perhaps joining us for the second race. All good. All good. Okay, so just committee will get the second race underway pretty promptly. Perhaps in 4 minutes, I think we might have signals. Approximately 3 to 4 minutes. Weather just doing what it's been doing. Little bits of squirt, bits of low cloud. Breeze perhaps back in the right. Air temperature down a little more. If you headed towards Hobart, you'd be thinking about a smaller sail at some point. Fortunately, we're not going there today. The committee won't move the line. Pretty good line, James. You know, it did look as if the guys that stood right got an easy trip up the first beat. Not sure why that is so necessarily. Tide ebb. Port tack, current right to left.
Just lost Dougie on the wood duck to see if he's headed up into Rose Bay to maybe make it a little bit longer leg length for them.
Yeah.
There you go. You got the Mighty Royale on screen, Bucko, with, I believe we've got all the Tech 2 crew, the supporters and sponsors on board, and also good old Pat Langley from Vycobi that sponsors two of the 18s. He's out for the day to watch. He's on, and his wife and kids, two girls, I believe, if I'm correct. And a possum, a pet possum. I did see the pet possum in the park, so there you go. So, no, it's a fake possum, but got me. I didn't have my glasses on.
We did get the possum on yesterday, James, too, you know.
The mighty ringtail. Yeah, no, so it's good to have the sponsors and supporters out, and the ferry looks pretty full today, which is good.
Yeah. And Tech 2, the nicest looking boat in the fleet, appearance-wise.
After the camera cat.
Oh, no. I wasn't including us in the debate, mate.
There you go.
Look how good it is.
Jeez,
Who
this
are those
ugly
ugly
blokes.
Get off. Nobody wants to look at us. Yeah.
You got old Noddy down the back having a few drone lessons and seeing what's going on.
Yeah.
So I don't think we're too long until we're back into sequence here, Bucko. There's
No,
a lot of...
I'm betting that we're in the final seconds of the count here.
Yep.
Here we go, troops. Sunker Minute.
So just we may not see Troy, but time will tell. But just been told he could be 15 minutes away. So a general recall, he might get on the boat, but other than that, he'll be a spectator.
These blokes are too well behaved today to have a general recall.
They're a long way behind the first line, weren't they?
They was pretty cruisy. Exactly the same start line problem as the first race. Wind direction a little further right. So, if anything, the more bias towards the boat. And if you can start well at the boat, you can get up the beat with potentially 2 less tacks.
Yeah, well, we've seen how costly the tacks were on some of the boats in that first race, Bucko.
They must be a bit of rust and dust from the Christmas holidays, mate. That's what one
The
can
Australia Day,
observe.
there you go.
You know, the bird and bear jib stuck on the rig. A couple of the boats we noted that did the tack without easing any jib at all, which is usually a recipe for issues, because when you come out, the sail's too flat, not twisted enough, there's no tolerance about where the bow falls out of the tack.
And just the middle of screen there, that's Marine Pittwater back out. So
Yep, they've
Nerney's
come
back out.
back to join the fray. They're coming from fullback to start, though, James. Don't know what's going on there. But that's fair enough.
Give the young bloke Tyler Page, just give him a full experience in the tour of Sydney Harbour.
Yeah, possibly. Possibly.
There's 3 minutes there, Bucko, to the start.
Correct. And boats to windward of the start line at 3 minutes to go. I still don't understand that.
Well,
I must be old-fashioned, James, am I?
Sort of becomes the norm down here, doesn't it? You sort of see it doesn't even really,
Very strange.
doesn't get to you. Most other classes, they're all behind the line with 4 or 5 minutes to go.
Except in some keel boats in big fleets, but
Yeah.
and 49ers and 470s on a compressed line, but or where there's not much wind. But here we go. So we're lining up. Finport looking like they would like to mortgage the windward end. Highest loan to valuation ratio known to man. Jogging in, nicely placed.
So you're keeping your thoughts the same or anything jump out?
Well, I think Finport will be better for the gallop, so I'd put them on the podium. I think Tech 2, and don't know really. I do like Royal Oak. They look fast enough. They just were a bit wobbly, but they got third, so that wasn't a bad result. But it is a bit of a fight now. The standard actually has gone up quite a bit. The top 6, 7 boats now are quite close in speed and execution. Better than we saw for most of last year anyway.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah. So inside 2 minutes, Tech 2 also look like they're thinking about the windward end, and they're a bit high and a bit early, but they're probably going to be okay. Appliances setting up for a leeward end with Smeg.
Minute 10, Bucko. Minute 10.
Yep, just coming to 1 minute.
Noakes down the pin on port.
Yeah, I'll be thinking that would be a very good call. 1 minute.
So that's Noakes to the top right of your screen. See how long the line is there, right down there.
Vintech coming in on port late. That doesn't look right to me.
Not the best move.
No. Finport in good shape at the top of the line. Royal Oak in a bunch there with Shaw and Partners in the next group down. Very closely racked up. Finport's got a nice lane if they can pull the trigger at the right time.
20 seconds, Bucko.
All good. Fleet in good, on their best behaviour, nearly. Tech 2. Some polite language. Here we go. Let her rip. Kitchen maker over. Whole fleet over. Recall numbers.
Kitchen Maker definitely over.
Yeah.
A few bad waves here, Bucko.
Oh,
Sorry, brother, I couldn't do much about them.
green water on the deck of the camera cat, not good. So, out of all that, Finport leads. Tech 2 probably second. 4 Pines in row F again. And a good squall. Again, cloud down to the water level nearly. And a bit of cold wind, James. You need more than that cotton
I've just
t-shirt.
noticed that. Very cold.
Like I said, if we were going to Hobart, we would have been thinking about something, wouldn't we?
Well, we're not going to Hobart. We're going to Rose Bay and back, mate.
We're going in the direction of Hobart, mate. So, very windy now for the big rig. Surely not. Surely not. Wow. You're going to see some bit of carnage here, Jimmy, I'd predict. Actually, Tech 2 leads, the Finport just behind them on port. So the two boats that came from the windward end, kind of a bit like we thought, simple, long leg, stretch out, less tacks, no dirty air. Anywhere where it's stopped, probably.
Tech 2 just going to have a bit of an issue with the spectator boat. Just should be all right.
No, he's okay. He's clean.
So this will be close with Tech 2 and Finport, Bucko.
Yeah, I think Finport will cross when he comes back. Tech 2 didn't do a very good tack.
No.
Finport looks like they just legged out there. Look at that. Wow, around the outside of the puff. Finport got that high mode pretty good. Still, they're going through the water, but they're low. Looks great though, doesn't it? I did promise Jack we'd try and get a picture of his jib for him.
Sort of the same suspects there. Just got Tech 2, Finport just in front, Smeg, Noakes.
Shaw and partners from about 7th or 8th. Not going to cross the Burton Bear. Oh, and the Burton Bear's going to tack. Wow.
You think you would have kept pushing right into the island there, wouldn't you, Bucko?
Absolutely. Oh well, it's easy from the camera cat, isn't it?
Mate, we pick them all. Not very well sometimes, but we pick them.
We're good at picking the next guy to go in the drink.
We haven't capsized yet. Just wait for Birkenhead Point Marina to get out of there and we'll shoot up the shore.
Yeah, good job, Jimmy. We'll go to the Windward Marco or near to. Finport not far off the lay here.
No, he just needs a little righty, doesn't he?
Let's have a look. Big header. Big header with a whole lot of wind. No, he's under it. Oh well. Still, they got an easy lead there, haven't they, mate? They got a good 15-second cushion. Shore Partners having off screen behind us. Shore Partners having a bear away to go behind Birkenhead Point. So that puts him right at the back of the peloton.
Smeg and Tech 2, Simo attacking there in the background.
Yep. Smeg done well again. So the riding moment in the bow's good for them. And Finport is on a lay. High and slow, they're going to lay. How about that? They've nearly given up on them, mate.
Well, that'll be a huge advantage.
Yep. Yep. That's not the best, but it's better than 2 tacks.
You've got to question that sometimes, don't you? But
Yeah.
now it's slow. Got to get the boat speed up to dial to be able to perform the bear away.
It's a bad bear away. Jib went off too early. But there's plenty of wind and they've got a good lead.
Yep.
And the peloton's having a good fight. So all the next guys all pinching the lay. Smeg second, Tech 2 third, Royal Oak fourth. The Bird and Bear. Welcome, Troy.
Troy just parachuted on in, so welcome Troy. Smeg around second, Tech 2 around third, Royal Oak, 4 Pines fourth, Pines on line right on their hip. Noakes next around, Shore and Partners, just get the bear away done, boys. There you go. Birkenhead Point Marina next. Sean's jibed in the background there on the Noakes. Managed to save it.
Couple of near misses.
Troy, how are you, brother?
Yeah, bloody good. Thanks for...
The Bird and Bear guys having their third shot at getting to the windward mark. Not having a happy day there.
You need to go have a debrief with them, Bucko.
I'm sure they've got enough skill on that boat. It's just a matter of coordination, isn't it? It's not about skill, it's how the 3 guys operate together. Wow, that was pretty cool.
Get riding on down. So
Troy, you've been over at the Macca 38s, mate.
Yeah, we just finished up. Managed to pull one from the pack and win the regatta, so happy days. And here we are, late call up to watch the last lap of the 18s.
Second last lap.
Second to last lap. Oh, perfect. Yeah. So who won the first race?
Smeg won the first race.
Perfect.
And, it was a big fight. Finport didn't do that well, but they had the regular bowman in the front. But they made a good fist of this one, as you can see.
Oh.
And the peloton is ferocious today for some people. It's a pretty short course, actually. It's only 0.8 of a mile. And
Yep.
so they're not getting much separation.
Well, it's great to get them into this racing before the JJs, right? They're going to have a little bit of this for the big event.
And the Finport has overlaid the mark currently at the bottom, so
Low hooks.
that's a pretty unfortunate error, but Smeg in second is no better, so
Yep.
who's accurate? Noakes coming from the other side, not on screen. These guys here, Appliances, probably close to the right spot.
Yeah. And the Shore Partners coming down there in a big puff.
Yep.
duck and weave through a few boats there, and
Langman's jibe set didn't go too bad for him.
went really well.
Yeah.
Yeah, he got him out of the peloton.
So Finport just off screen leads around the bottom mark for the first time.
So they'd be scratching their heads about the lay line. Matty's bought the McConaughey 38 low line with him. Is that the problem?
He came straight over. He didn't have to go to the Prezzo. They didn't make the podium, so.
Oh, there you go. That's always a good call, isn't it? I had to go to the Prezzo.
So Smeg around second.
Good on you, son.
Real close one here for third. Plenty of yelling and screaming going on.
Good
Noakes.
rounding from the Noakes. Wow, that's
Appliance
pretty
Online
high.
and Tech 2.
And it's turned into a bit of a soldier's course here with this change in direction. So, got to get the bow down, Sean, get it going here.
Well, breeze just kept going back to the right as the temperature's gone, well, you know, related to new cold air arriving. And so the ley line, you know, has moved a fair way and people haven't adjusted well enough. So the Bergenhead Point Marina having a bit of a struggle.
Yeah, late drop. I think that little change, little southerly, little bend in the breeze there just caught a few of them out coming into this bottom mark.
Well, Troy, you know, probably after you finish racing, but just been a succession of little rolly, cloudy things.
Yep.
And each one, the breeze has gone a little further right and built a little bit.
Yep.
You know?
Vintech again, Bucko off screen just to the left of the shot there.
Missed the shutdown.
Late drop again.
Missed the shutdown marker again. Oh well.
And having a swim for their trouble.
Oh, and the 4 pints nearly in the tide as well, just off screen. Sorry, guys. But Finport leads pretty comfortably off in the distance there. The peloton's still a tough place. Smeg in second, so they will have a good day. They won the first one. Tech 2 third with Noakes fourth. Appliance Online and Rural Oak. So how many boats in the Macca 38 fleet, Troy?
Only 6 this regatta, but this is the first act of the year. 6 regattas throughout the year. The next one's the Nationals, and we'll probably have 9 to 10 boats out there. So we had a new owner. We had a new James Mayo chartered our boat this regatta. Our normal owner has broken his shoulder, so it was good to have James's first regatta and to see him win that. So happy days. It's Sevi Jarvin and Sam Newton, who normally sail with the winning group. They were on board. So Sevi did tactics and Sam did the main sheet.
So you had a lousy crew is what you're telling me, right?
Yeah, horrible crew. Horrible crew.
All right, fair enough. Breeze up here now, about 16 knots. We're travelling with the Smegler with the mainsail fully flappaged. Finport cruising along in the lead and subject to the usual caveats, shouldn't be too troubled here.
Yeah.
And a big gap to third. The fight, what do you think, Troy? Noakes has done a great job down the last run.
Yeah, he should get across Tech 2 there.
Yep.
Looks like he's going to hold on to that. But we've got the Appliances Online just to leeward of us here doing a nice job. But it'll be Noakes in third, Tech 2 in fourth, and then the Appliances Online in fifth.
Tech 2 having a duck. Noakes not on screen, sorry guys, but for the record, here we go.
There it is on screen right now.
Small.
Just the
There you
little
go.
duck. So watch for them to get stuck back into these boys on the next one. We'll just get out of the way here.
So
Still going to be a tight battle for that third spot. Appliance Online just
Starting to get amongst it.
yeah, they're actually ducking a few of the port hand guys. They want to get right in on this shore. I think minimise their tacks.
minimum tax and a little bit less wind and tack in is pretty handy.
Actually got quite a nice lefty, this Smeg here. They're quite high coming back.
Yeah, he's got a bit to make up though, but I think he should be able to hang in there for second, I would think, from here,
Yeah.
Troy.
So there's the second place boat on screen at the moment, and the chasing pack behind them. And the Finport's probably what to say, a little bit less distance from the Tech 2. There you go. There's the leader, Finport on the left of screen.
Yeah, he's pretty comfortable. He's higher and no slower than Smeg at the moment. Just coming around their bow pretty handily, in fact. But he'd just be going to the ley line and not have the problem he had last time of having a pinch. You would hope, give himself a nice, easy rounding rather than what he did last time.
Great to see these Smeg boys starting to put in some solid results week in, week out as well, you know. So Mika, Ricky and Pete, they're certainly, you know, by the time the JJs roll around, they'll certainly be in the top bunch. Along with Finport, you know, like we're seeing them win races constantly. The winning group really need to get back out here and get stuck back into it.
You got to stop going off and doing regattas with them, Troy.
Stop mucking around in a McConaughey 38, right? Oh well.
Well, the next McConaughey 38, they're actually not with us because of the JJs, so they have a clash, so we'll have to find someone else.
It's Finport loading around the top mark for the second time.
Beautiful barrel weight. Cracker. That's a way better than their last one.
Yeah, and they can afford to be nice and safe, these two boats at the front here, that's for sure. There's a big gap back to the cluster.
Yep.
Just got to watch. Finport does have to watch boats coming upwind here. They've got the Tech 2 just to leeward. They're going to be safe there, and just keep a little lazy eye out on the rest of the fleet.
Bit of the problem doing these short courses in a confined bay like Rose Bay here, where we come up between the island. It's not much.
Yeah, I think it's good action. You know, you got to really. It's sailing. It's what it's really about. And I like the short courses. I like the faster races. A couple of races a day.
Wow.
Oh, we've got a man overboard there on the AOL. He just fell over the front, but he seems to have held on and just climbed back up.
All in a day's work. Tech 2 third, and they'd be
great shot of Finport there, just smoking downwind.
Pleased to hang on to that. Yeah.
I'm sure they'll go a little bit earlier this time.
Tech 2 can't get the bow down. Plenty of wind here. And they succeed. Noakes also pretty nice. Appliance is not bad. Shaw and Partners having a bit of a shocker.
So it's all on for third here.
Oh, Jimmy.
I think they're going to be hooked on that.
Yep.
Oh, there she goes. She might have rolled off. There we go.
Oh, no, jib off. Wow. So a bit of how not to round the windward mark there from Shaw and Partners. The back of the peloton, more or less, with Kitchenmaker.
Let's go down and keep an eye on third place. I think that's where it's all to play for right now. It's between Tech 2 and the Noakes, and Tech 2 seems to be whipping it down there in a good puff.
Might not see them go as far into the headland this time.
No, but you know, this pressure's a little bit further on the right now, so they haven't cut it short, and they'll just be hoping they sort of don't get too mapped like in the first downwind. But Finport looks like they're on a ley line, pretty comfy, just rolling in towards the finish. We've got Tech 2 in front of us now. It's just jibed, and between them and Noakes.
Troy, another lap, mate.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, well, there we go. Perfect. Noakes will be trying to just roll forward here on Tech 2, but I don't think they'll be affecting them.
Finport at the drop zone down the bottom. We're with Ragus Ferry there, no long shot here. Tech 2, you can see the other guys just coming to the bottom mark. Finport on a win now. These guys are a little hot, and the beneficiary out of that will be Appliances Online. Breeze further right again, and rain. Rain, proper rain. And now a bit of pressure on these guys. Appliances on a lay from well short. What looked like a pretty short lay line.
Yeah, and these guys are going to have to do an early drop here on the Noakes. Have to be careful. Tech 2's just going late one here.
Oh, they won't go
Can't get
late.
inside. Yep.
No risk involved in that manoeuvre, is there?
No. And the AOL's running it in late there, but they've got it off early too.
Oh. Not the best dial up from Tech 2. Kind of sort of had to do it, but didn't really have to do it quite like that. But anyway.
No. And that's let the AOL get up inside them.
Yeah.
Good race from Birkenhead Point. It's coming down in about 7th spot here. There's a few others getting caught out with this big breeze. The Rag's way off there, halfway to Manly.
And a big endo from the bullet there, not on the screen. But the face of this puff is up to about 18 to 20 knots, 18 probably. And a little smattering of rain before. Cleared up now. Windy though.
So we've got a good shot there of the Shore partners coming around. Birkenhead Point just at the mark now. They come around in 7th and 8th. Got Kitchen Maker just going round. Rounding out the top 10. And there's the Rag. Nice surrounding there. So we've got one bloke, he's capsized up the run here.
The Bird and Bear,
Bird and Bear.
Yep. Did a good A-grade endo, I did notice.
This gap between Smeg and Finport appears to have closed up.
Yeah, they both struggled a bit, and Finport struggled a bit more in the face of that squall. But still got a 20-second buffer, so I don't expect much will change. If they get the Bear away stuck at the top mark, they'll be right, I think. Well, Mika will be enjoying this. He hasn't had the best of times before Christmas, so he'll be happy with his new Bowman.
He won the day he won the one that I came out with that day. You know, he's all good.
Yeah, I mean, he won a day, but he had a couple of one day where he was at the back of the peloton. You know, couldn't get out of the knife fight.
Well, he's got now too. He's got his crew right that he's going to run all the way through to the
correct.
JJ. So it's good to see him getting some continuity going through it.
Yeah.
Smeg just knocking in on the left side here, attacking.
And the Finport just going to put a clamp on him, I would suspect.
Yeah.
Yep. Perfect covering tack from Finport, or not a perfect tack though. Good placement.
Yeah, and you know, a couple of little things like that, it starts creeping into your mind that, oh, they're closing up, and next thing the mistakes can start happening pretty quickly. So Smeg's just keeping the pressure on here nicely.
Yeah, but the Bear away's for the money, Troy, isn't it? Here.
Yeah.
Well up range. Smeg on the port tack low line, more or less. And the gap back to third is about a minute, so that's for the yacht race, and Finport won both races last week, so.
And I really like how Mick is just looking forward here. He's not worried about anyone behind him. He's just putting the ears back and going for it. So looks to have a little bit better speed here too. Yeah. Just getting through the water a little nicer, you reckon, Bucko?
Finport always a bit higher and a bit slower, so. But visibly pretty even, really. Finport better in the puff, though, I think. Finport getting much nicer progressive inversion of the head of the jib.
Yeah. Smig's really got the hammer down here, so
Oh, yeah.
they're going to be hot on the heels of them at the top mark, but I'd say Finport will have probably a 4-length lead. Not a bad tack there on Smig, and
Good tack for the wind
Finport
speed.
not as good, the Finport tack, so that's allowed, just lost another length there. And
But here's for the money, mate, the bear away.
Mika starts widening the stance.
Yeah. Like the batsman waiting for the in-swinger. Here we go. Chimes in. All good. Lovely,
Yeah.
lovely, lovely form.
Oh,
No good. No good.
Oh,
Not enough bang off.
Mika's going to go around his bow here.
Yep. Like I said, that was for the money.
Oh, he's still safe, Keegan. Oh, although he's fallen.
No, he's all
Little
right.
water ski there. Here they go. Who can get it up quicker? And this is just giving the Smeg a little taste.
Yep. Pretty good.
Here they
set.
are. Good set on the Smeg. Not
Pretty
bad
good.
on the Finport. They're just rolling over them there nicely. So good work by Pete Harris and Ricky Bridge to get that up and set and away. Great change for the lead there. It's not over yet though.
Far from it. Smeg can't jibe from there at the moment. Good pressure coming from this side where they are, so I think they'll both stay on this jibe.
And Finport's going for an early one, it looks like.
Yeah, on the face of the puff, so that's probably their best option.
Yeah, that's sort of, I think, probably let Smeg off the hook a little bit there. So
Well, you just don't know. A little bit less wind on the edge here, Troy, in general, yeah? Just a bit
Yeah.
of land friction, so
we've just got to make sure Mickey doesn't go past his ley line here. We've seen that could be his only problem.
yeah, it's a big finish line, and it probably
Big finish line.
it favours the boy end now, this end.
Copy.
Okay?
Yeah, we saw Sean Langman in that last one, right? Trying to get off pretty nicely at the pin end.
Yeah, so interesting.
Nice job.
But just looking up wind, oh, no, Smeg's in front.
Yeah,
So,
you'd say Smeg's about to get some nice pressure here and
yeah, yeah.
sail off over the horizon.
Well, Finport needs a job. Oh, and here's a guy.
It's got Sammy Jarvin coming back in here to give these boys some coaching, clearly. He's been coaching us all day.
How'd he go? Were you good listeners?
Yeah, we're great listeners. You got to listen.
Yeah, no, fair enough. But the Smeg will have to do a
Ooh.
jibe here. And they're not, they've got a big bit of seaway.
Oh, I think he's pretty,
No, he doesn't have the jibe. He's got a cushion.
should get it in there.
20 second giveaway from the Finport. Sort of strange. He's lifted up towards the boat end, but he's got a cushion. He'll be right. He's going to keep sailing. Good header coming for him, so no dramas. Finport on the same jibe now behind us. So there we go, boys. Well done. Mick Lane, Ricky Bridge and Pete Harris, well done. Two wins for the day. It's all theirs. Finport will get second. They'll be a bit disappointed with that. Tech 2 third, so they've had quite a good day also.
Yeah, they just got back past Noakes, on that last little.
Yep,
This looks like on the last run they've got back past Noakes.
yep. Quite tricky, you know. Another little squall just coming.
Yeah.
This will be quite close, actually.
Oh, pin in, I
Tech
think's
2.
helping them out.
Tech 2.
Yep.
Tech 2's going to beat him, but not by much. Jimmy, just go straight for a second, mate.
Bit hard to go straight, Bucko, when I got 18s coming at me, mate.
What's the point? Chits.
We're all like a hotel 4 points, Bucko, not having a too good of a one after their first race.
Not their best day, no. And the Finport in the tide after the finish.
There you go. Insurance Partners back to the drawing board.
A Barry Crocker, as one might say. Wow. So pretty big day. Finport still leads the Australian Championship with 3 wins, a second and a 6th, I think. Insurance Partners will be second with 2 wins today.
Smeg.
Sorry, what am I saying? Smeg. Insurance Partners, sorry. Yes, not so great. Tech 2, I think, will be next.
Just got Rag coming across the line, Rag and Famish to finish, and just closely following them, got the Kitchen Maker Caesar Stone. Happier race than the first race, at least they finished. And then following on home, Captain Jack Sprague on the Dalzotto.
And the Yandu.
And the Yandu bringing up the tail. Oh, sorry, Vintech will be bringing up the tail, but almost a lap behind.
Yeah, 11 starters, 11 finishes. We think if Vintech gets around, they're a fair way back.
Well, we've still got the boys up here too on the Bird and Bear, just
Oh, the Bird and Bear in the tide, yes.
little
indeed.
turtle.
12th boat, yes. They, as I mentioned, had a A-grade endo, so in the face of one of those bits of puff. So the weather models weren't too good today because they didn't have this much wind in them, any shape or form. But maybe the trough or the cold front's picked up a bit of grunt from the hot water.
Everyone's having a swim after the finish, Bucko.
It wasn't expected
Kitchen
to be
Maker
here, but
in.
it looks like it is. Yes, indeed.
You sort of can cross the finish line sometimes and go into that cruise mode, and
Yeah, a little bit too early.
fortunately
And
you've got to get
game
it
over.
packed away.
Remember
Bucko did that during the race yesterday for the vintage boats. He won't talk about it, Troy.
Don't
We go
mention,
swimming.
don't mention the
It's
war.
a shame we've got to wrap it up, but anyway, we'll come back to that at another day.
All right, folks. Well, I hope you've enjoyed that. A pretty entertaining day in a big rig southerly on Sydney Harbour for heats 3 and 4 of the Australian titles. Best boat on the day, Smeg, and probably the Finport also had a pretty satisfactory day, as did Tech 2. So, from the Camera Cat, AeroMedia, on behalf of the whole team, thanks for listening. Hope you can join us next week. And Troy gets 2/3 of his pay dock for turning up late.